guys, it's Lindsay, your self-advocate discipline for the Oklahoma Lynn program, here to tell you my reflection over the Consumer Advisory Committee meeting that I attended over Zoom. So, Consumer Advisory Committee. The word consumer is taken from, they are actually listening to the people who get these services. So it's an interdisciplinary teaming meeting, which is one of our core Lynn principles, and I'm going to tell you how it relates to others later on in the video. So, what's unique about our Oklahoma Consumer Advisory Committee is it's made up of 50% either self-advocates or family advocates. So that's unique about it. So I really enjoyed it. They talked about, how we can get services across the lifespan, which I advocate for 21 and above because honestly there's not a lot out there for 21 and above service-wise. So I loved it. I'm excited for the opportunity to come back. They listen to the self-advocates, so it's really a person-centered and family-centered practices meeting as well as a interdisciplinary teaming meeting. And it also related to inclusive community-based practices because they talked about how we can get services out to the community, how they connect to the lifespan, and what we need to do as far as getting these services out to the community of self-advocates and families. So I loved it. It's required in every state to have a consumer advisory committee. So I just really enjoyed CAC. I learned a lot from it. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you keep rolling on and find beauty in advocacy. Love you guys. Hi guys, it's Lindsay, your self-advocate discipline for the Oklahoma Lynn program. I'm here today to video my reflection over the Consumer Advisory Committee meeting that I attended today. Now it's different between the Consumer Advisory Committee meeting that I attended last time and this Consumer Advisory Committee meeting that I attended this time this was their big partnership committee meeting. So all of the agencies they're partnered with throughout the state all got together on this day and talked about what was working and what was not working. We had, I think, 45 people on there, so it was a big number and a whole lot of people from a lot of different agencies and everything. So we all got together and talked about what's working and what wasn't working. And there's a lot of things working due to COVID, and there's a lot of things not working due to COVID. So we talked about that. One of the big areas that we talked about and that I heard mentioned several times was the employment agency for people that have disabilities, and there's not really a big number of people that are employed that have disabilities. And another thing I heard is the isolation and mental health aspect that said isolation due to COVID has on our mental health. And another thing I heard was telehealth. But on the disadvantage to that, not a lot of people have access to technology if you're a person who has a disability. So telehealth is a great thing, but if you don't have access to telehealth, like say for instance in rural areas, then that's not going to help you out. We need a lot more access to these types of services in rural areas. and that's something we're trying to get better at. So, looking at the last 5 years, we've done a lot for the disability community, but we still need to do a whole lot more. I brought up how, like the state of Oklahoma had people with disabilities and as an afterthought as for COVID vaccines. And they wish people would get a lot more vaccines. But at the same time, if we don't have access to them, like for instance with me, what happened with me, I waited 3 months to get my COVID vaccine. And if a organization here wouldn't have opened up, two organizations here wouldn't have opened up their doors for families and self advocates and caregivers, I wouldn't have gotten my COVID vaccine like I did. So I'm very thankful for that. But that's something we need to do a whole lot more of. And I just, as this relates to one of our Corlin principles is interdisciplinary teaming. It also relates to family and person-centered professional partnerships is what this is. I mean, they're actually listening to self-advocates to make this person-centered and to make it family-centered. So, I feel like Oklahoma's doing a wonderful job with that, and I'm blessed to have been on 2 different CAT meetings and have been involved in 2 different consumer advisory meetings, and I'm so thankful that we have the Consumer Advisory Committee, and I look forward to serving on it a whole lot more and being involved on it a whole lot more. So, I hope you guys find beauty in advocacy and keep rolling on. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.